Hi folks, we've been making a little game called Warfleet Captains, and now that it's been released on Steam as a demo, you can jump in and try out the game, shameless plug. It's about time we released a long overdue devlog. Warfleet Captains is a sci-fi fleet combat game that a good friend of mine and I have been developing since 2017. So you might be wondering what kind of journey it has been for us to make a game over so long. We'll cover that briefly, then talk about the big pivot that happened and why we did that, and finally we'll talk about our immediate future running up to nextfest coming this June. Alright, let's get into it. In 2017, I was graduating from university and I had already decided about getting into games development as an indie. At the time, where I come from, there really wasn't any promising game studios. And to be fair, there still aren't. Warfleet Captains is the game I came up with. At the time, I was a huge fan of War Thunder and World of Warships, but at heart, I was also a big sci-fi fan. I decided to combine both these ideas and figured it would be fun to make a game like World of Warships, but in space with massive sci-fi ships. I also thought making it for mobile will help me make the game faster since we can keep all the mechanics simple and the visuals would be easy to make. Boy, was I about to find out how wrong I was. Around the same year, I learned of two games called Dreadnought and Fractured Space. At first, I was a little bummed out, feeling that sense of being too late to the party like any fledgling game designer does. However, the more I played those games, I decided that this was actually a good thing, because the fact that two big, well-funded studios decided to pour resources to make this game design and release it means it is a good idea. Basically, the idea of a mission-based, streamlined, multiplayer sci-fi fleet combat game where you control large warships is validated. What I figured is this would probably make it easier for me to find a publisher and then get the funds I need to finish up the game. So long as I build a valid playable vertical slice to show them. Turns out it wasn't going to be so easy. I worked on the game with my friend. We created a working prototype and got the gameplay loop going, made a ton of assets. The whole process, however, would take us years, as we had to learn a bunch of stuff, from modeling things down to modeling things modularly, then creating our own unique skyboxes to just multiplayer technology. Not to mention, we had to optimize the game for mobile, which was a bigger challenge than we ever expected. We also had to shelve Warfleet Captains for a few years as we pursued careers. We had to earn money to keep our families fed. I'm gonna skip over this era of the game's development, but think of it as between 2019 and 2024, we pretty much maybe spent a year's worth of development time on the game. Now, on the turn of 2024, we finally started working full-time on Warfleet Captains. We got the vertical slice coming together by mid-2025 and basically we were polishing up the game to start showing it to mobile publishers. This is where fate took a different turn. On the run-up to the moment of releasing the vertical slice to mobile, I came across an indie game development funding program called the Blue Ocean Games Rising Tides Challenge. If you didn't know about it, to any indies that might be watching this devlog, this challenge is open to any indie team that has not been funded by an investor or publisher. And basically, you get the opportunity to be voted to receive funds up to 100k on your game. For indies with no cash in their accounts like us, this is like a fantastic opportunity, so we decided to take part in it. Now, we quickly found out the challenge was basically for PC Steam titles. They didn't have a particular rule against it only being PC titles, but we were warned we'd probably not get the votes from the community since they are mostly PC gamers and that the challenge is catered to those. The real importance of this for us was this one call I had with a partner of Blue Ocean Games. Shout out to Richard. He held a one-on-one meeting with indies one day, and when we finally spoke, he was brutally honest about our chances of the plan I had in the works for the past 6 or so years. He laid out the numbers and pretty much said our plan to use a vertical slice to entice mobile publishers to spend money on development costs then millions on marketing is a long shot, to put it lightly. The reality is that we are a two-man indie dev team from an unknown region of the game dev space, no prior portfolio, no credibility, and a big ask. That, piled on with the hundreds of other devs also asking for the same thing from them, means we just won't even ping on their radars. His advice? Pivot now, make the game for PC, and release the game within the next 6 months or so. It's much easier for indies to be visible on PC to this day than on mobile. There just isn't as much noise for us to fight through, and we have a good chance to release Warfleet Captains on PC on our own to people. Pretty much half an hour of digesting and processing what we heard from him, we decided he's right. He opened our eyes on the dead end we were about to hit, and we pivoted hard. In 3 months, we ported our game over to PC. We even added some new features like an improved tutorial.
Welcome to the training simulation, Captain.
To make gamers on PC have an easier time jumping into our game. We added controller support, and the game even works well on the Steam Deck, thanks to all the optimizations we had to do to make the game run solid on mobiles. In January 2026, we finally released Warfleet Captains demo on Steam. We don't have thousands of wishlists yet, but we are healthily heading towards breaking past 1,000, which is good news given how crap at social media marketing we are. We are starting to ramp up talking about our game on social media since like November of 2025. And oh boy, getting the algorithm on social media to push content is a whole new challenge for us. It's getting better though. Reddit sci-fi groups are slowly taking notice, and the release of our demo has had a big influx of new members on our Discord. Oh yeah, head on down and join our Discord, links in the description. If you like what we're making, we're building a community of captains, so you can jump in and make suggestions on what you'd like to see in a game like this in our Discord and find other captains to go play the game with. The demo release is a huge milestone for us. We honestly can't put into words what an amazing feeling it is to see our game just show up on Steam. It's surreal. Overall, people who are trying the game's demo are having fun, which is a green flag. We got the base idea right. We're getting a lot of feedback on our Discord, the energy is great, and we also know that the game needs more source to make it really become the vision we have for it. And that's what we're about to do. This brings us neatly to what comes next. Nextfest in June. Take a look at our roadmap. We have a lot of things planned between now and June. The game's visuals, which were made around 2018 to 2020, needs to be updated as it was basically built for mobile. We are no longer making a game for mobile, so we have a much bigger poly budget to work with. We will be reworking our ships with more details. Our maps, which were designed in a time when I had little to no professional experience, will get a much needed update. Not to mention a revamp to a lot of the systems I had designed to streamline the game for mobile. Come Nextfest in June, we aim to make our ships feel more weighty and powerful, with collisions actually being a significant factor on maneuvering. Our ship health and shield systems will be revamped, and you as the captain will get more options to keep your ship and crew alive in the fight for longer. We will add ship modifications allowing you to really own your playstyle, whether that is offensive or supportive. You really will get to play it the way you want. Game modes will be referred to as operations in the future, and each operation will be themed with audio box and lore to enrich your experience. We really want to build a game that you can immerse yourself in the fantasy of being ship captains in epic sci-fi fleet battles. And beyond the Nextfest demo update, we aim to have the game launch into early access. With 3 operations and 4 maps, we hope to have an early access release happen within a month after the Nextfest. But we still haven't locked in a proper window yet, so just expect it to be soon after. And the best part of all this is that it all comes to you at an indie single price tag. We have no idea how popular this game will be, but we do know that the two of us are excited to push to early access release, then build out the game in any direction we and our fans desire. That ends the devlog. This has been one hell of a long journey and a long time coming. Onwards to nextfest. I'll catch you all on the next one. Bye for now.